All right, we are back with another Growth Lab training session, and today we're joined by marketing experts Maddie Wires and Charlie Johnson. Welcome back to the Growth Lab. How you guys been?
Doing good.
Awesome,
Doing well.
great. So,
How you doing, Hans?
expert techniques for scaling on Amazon. What can we expect to learn from you guys today?
We're going to go deep into a few different fronts. We're going to talk about acquisition. We're going to talk about conversion rate. We're going to talk about driving traffic from external sites and really just making sure that month over month we can get you guys to consistently scale.
Yep. And we're also going to touch on keywords and also how to get reviews and things like that for your page. So, yep,
All
lots
right.
of things to cover.
I like that. Well, Amazon is a beast, so buckle up, everyone, and sharpen your pencils. I will hop out of here, but if you need me, just call me and I'll come right back. But otherwise, take it away.
Sounds
good. Thanks, Hans.
Bye, guys.
All right, everyone. We're going to have the chat open on the side so we can keep an eye on questions. And let me go ahead and share my screen so that you guys can see what I'm looking at here.
Yeah, if you guys have any questions or thoughts, I'm going to be keeping track of the chat here. So feel free to send away, and then we're going to save some time for Q&A at the end as well. So
awesome. All right, guys. So let's get on the same page here. You're here for a Amazon Masterclass. We're going to be talking about expert techniques for scaling. I'm Charlie Johnson. My co-host is Maddie Wires. We both work at Ecom Allies, and we're going to be talking about scaling your business on Amazon. So real quick, just a quick 101 about myself and Maddie and our team over at Ecom Allies. We're coming from Ecom Allies, which is an e-commerce advertising agency. So this is stuff that we do day in, day out. We work on Amazon, on Facebook, on Google. We have a really deep focus on customer research. We dropped some logos in there. I'm the founder. I started this company a few years ago, and Maddie's been with us for the last year and a half or so as our growth marketer. Okay, let's get into this agenda really briefly, just to make sure we're all on the same page. We're just going to go boom, 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 real quick through why Amazon. If you're showing up, I'm hoping that you guys have had some sense of how big Amazon is as an e-commerce platform. It's just like a beast. But we'll touch on a few key stats. Then we're going to dive into product listings and talk about how to make sure you're getting all the sales that you should be getting from the product listings that you've created. So we'll be talking about CRO, conversion rate optimization. After that, we'll talk about keywords and how you can identify the best keywords for your niche and how you can actually figure out the keywords that are driving sales for your competitors. Then that transitions nicely into organic rankings. Advertising is great. It's our bread and butter at Ecom Allies. We love it. But at a certain point of spend with your budget and your bids, you're going to eventually start to get diminishing returns, which is where boosting your organic keyword rankings comes in. And paid and organic with Amazon, it really goes hand in hand. There's a really nice tie in there. So we'll talk about that. There's something that a lot of the people that we talk to have never even considered, which is actually selling bundles of products on Amazon. We're going to show you how to do that, where you can sell multiple products through the same link. We'll then start talking about reviews, because reviews is huge for conversion rate optimization. So we'll talk about automated emails, we'll talk about giveaways, and we'll talk about chatbots. And then at the very end, we got this in the corner down there, we have a bonus for you. And the bonus is that we're going to do some live teardowns, because in talking with countless CEOs over the last few years about their Amazon stores, the thing that we've seen to be the most helpful for people like you is to actually pull up your Amazon store and just really quickly take a look at those bullet points, take a look at those thumbnail images, take a look at the A+ content, get a sense of what you're doing right and where there's opportunities for improvement. If any of you guys have questions about any of this, feel free to chat in the chat box. But this is just giving you a sense of where we're going.
Yep.
As far as the live teardowns, Maddie, go ahead.
I was just going to say, yep. So have your questions, whatever you have, keep a hold of that. And then also have your links ready if you want us to do a teardown, because we're going to do some of those at the end. So just be ready.
Beautiful. Yeah, I was just going to say the same thing. If you guys could start getting your Amazon store URLs up and ready, that'll be great, because we'll do some teardowns pretty soon. And really, you don't need much for this webinar. Really, The point is to give you guys some quick wins and help you guys get some new tools in your toolkit. The key things that you need in order to be successful with the techniques that we're going to be talking about are your Amazon seller account. Ideally, you'll have an advertising budget so you can use all the techniques we're talking about. And then, of course, you got to have inventory. If you're out of inventory, save these techniques for a rainy day when you are like focused on your supply chain. But hopefully, all of you guys have some inventory to sell.
Yep. And I was just going to say another note on that too. If you get to any point in this webinar and you feel like this is too advanced, we do have another class that we taught a few weeks ago that's a little bit more baseline, just getting started, things like that. So I think we can drop the link in here for that as well, just so you have that to refer to if you feel like things get a little in the weeds for you.
Yeah, if any of you guys start just scratching your heads and you're like, okay, I don't know where to start with this technique. This is way too advanced for me. I would recommend watching the replay video. And you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and put that in the chat right now. Here we go.
I see we're sending a lot of Amazon pages, which is awesome. But I guess just keep those on hand in case they get lost in the chat so that for the end we have them. So awesome. Okay, so It looks like we had a poll running just asking if we have a Shopify store, and 92% do have one, 7% don't. And it looks like we're going to run another one here now, asking about what your monthly Amazon revenue is.
Yeah, and guys, the reason why we ask this sort of stuff, whether or not you have a Shopify store, how much revenue you're doing on Amazon, these are all things that help us get a sense of what to focus on for you. Because every time we do a webinar, there's a slightly different audience. If it turns out that the majority of you guys are in one bucket in terms of kind of like where you're at with the business, it's super helpful for us to just focus on stuff that's going to be a little bit more relevant to you. And I can already see you guys are answering this poll about the revenue. That's great. Looks like early data shows, wow, quite a mix. We've got a fair amount of people who are in the no sales, just getting started range. A good amount of people who are in the just under 5,000 range. Looks like about 15%, 5K to 20K.
Yep. And I will say too, even if you're in that no sales yet area, I think you're still going to get a lot of value from this. But again, if you feel like it gets really in the weeds, feel free to refer back to that other session that we did as well. But I do think you'll still get value here for sure.
This is great. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate that. All right, let's dig in. So real quick, let's just go over the basics and make sure we're all on the same page. Amazon, like I said before, Amazon's a beast. This is a massive, massive e-commerce platform. It's just about 50% of all e-commerce sales are happening on Amazon in the United States right now. So that's a huge amount of money that's flowing through one giant platform. So this is a massive, massive market of shoppers. And on top of that, as you guys know, there's Amazon Prime members, 112 million Amazon Prime members in the United States. So these are people that are paying a yearly fee to get faster shipping. And these are people who are going to be very likely to spend more money on Amazon. And then on top of that, another big stat for you guys, it's estimated that about 9 out of 10 searches for specific products, like if I'm shopping for a vacuum or I'm shopping for new dishwasher detergent or something like that, it's estimated that about 9 out of 10 of those searches start on Amazon in the US, and which is totally a huge shift from how it used to be in the past. In the early 2000s, we would have been talking about search engines would be the go-to. But as Amazon has become just this massive, massive product discovery platform, it's now the place that most consumers go to first to start their search in the US, which is pretty crazy. And then the conversion rates are massively different. If we're talking about your e-commerce store versus your Amazon store, conversion rates tend to be much, much higher on Amazon. And the hypothesis here is that because people trust Amazon. This is a brand that's really invested in customer support, in making sure that people get refunds if they need them, making sure that they have a really streamlined, easy, simple experience as they're shopping online. And of course, they have this really strong reviews and rating system. So they've done, Amazon, tip of the hat to them. They've done an amazing job of making sure that people feel safe on Amazon. And as a result, conversion rates are much higher.
Right. And on that note too, a lot of people, if you think about it, when they go to buy from Amazon, they feel like, oh, I'm just buying something from Amazon. It's not from all the different merchants and stores and things like that. So definitely super trustable. And I know personally, I always check Amazon first. So it makes sense.
I just bought something on Amazon last night.
There
Maddie,
you
you and I were talking about this earlier. Yeah. All right. So we're going to hit you with another quick poll. For those of you who don't have revenue yet, this might not apply to you guys, but I'd like if you could share what's your monthly Amazon ad spend. This is something that's going to help us understand which of these techniques are going to be the most relevant to you guys. So if you just quickly jump into that poll, let us know.
Yeah. So it looks like we have quite a few here between $1 and 5,000, which is healthy. And then some with no ad spend, kind of all over the map though. Nobody too high up there, but this is good. Good to know. Yeah, we're about 60% between $1 and 5,000. 31% no ad spend yet. 10% 5,000 to 20,000.
Yeah, I see the little. It's funny seeing the little poll bars keep oscillating, but it's in the same range. Looks like we have like a couple of you guys are in the 100,000 plus club, which is quite a bit of ad spend. And that's really, that's taking scale to the next level. There's a handful in the 20,000 to 50,000 range. And then it looks like the vast majority is under 20,000 a month ad spend. So that's great. Thank you guys. There we go. Okay. So we've talked about why Amazon. Hopefully if you're here for this webinar, you get it. Amazon is a beast, massive market, lots of consumers, high conversion rates. Many people consider it like a necessary evil because, of course, they're taking a percentage of your profits. But we're all here to talk about Amazon. Let's start getting into some of the meat here. And I'd like to start by talking about your product listings because this is an area for quick wins for a lot of folks. And so I'm actually going to go ahead and show you guys. Let's pull this up. I want to show you guys. Most people I talk to don't know you can do this. You can just check your conversion rates for your product listings in Amazon. Okay, so this is Amazon Seller Central, and you go to reports and then business reports. You can go to we're going to go by ASIN and the detail page for sales and traffic. This is a report. We've blurred out some sensitive client info, but this is a report where you can see. Let me hide. Not sure if my the thumbnails are blocking any of the screen, so I'm changing our little images. Hopefully you guys can see this. The unit session percentage column in this report is the conversion rate. This is how many people are converting, and you can export this to CSV. You can change the date range. You can sort this from top to bottom, bottom to top. But basically, the unit session percentage is the metric in your Amazon seller account where, wow, that was super fast. I might pull that back up again. That's the metric in your Amazon seller account report. Here we go. Great. I'm just going to jump right here and pause. Great. So you guys see that column where, unit session percentage, that column is your conversion rate. Each row here in this table is a different product listing. It's a different product that this client of ours has on Amazon that they're selling. And each one of those numbers is a different conversion rate. And we took this because we wanted to show you that this is a prime example where someone came to us and there's a huge, massive opportunity to improve conversion rates. If you look at these numbers, so many of these products have extremely low conversion rates. And if you remember just a few slides ago, I showed you that the typical conversion rate that we would expect to see from a good selling product on Amazon is above 10%, which is still, that's a massive conversion rate. Typically with e-commerce stores, we're talking more like 2% or 3%, whereas on Amazon, it can be above 10%. And that video recording that I just showed you, we're going in that Amazon seller account, so many of those products are well below 10%, which means massive opportunity for improvement. So don't forget, this is all being recorded. You can go back and check this later. But I just want to note that one of the first things I encourage people to do, and if you're watching this, I hope you'll do this, is go into your Amazon Seller Central account, go to reports, go to the business reports section, and then go check out those page details so you can see the conversion rates of each of your product listings.
It looks like Parker is asking if we can find sales categories to compare. Is that... We'll come back to this question. Can you elaborate on that a little bit, Parker? And then Mike said that their conversion is above 25%. That's good. There you go. Okay.
Way to go, Mike.
Just need more traffic. That's right. Okay. Good stuff.
That's really cool. Yeah, if anyone is checking the report or knows their conversion rate and wants to share it in the chat, I'd be curious to see what some of the other conversion rates are. But Mike, that's huge. 25% is massive. Well done. Okay.
Very cool.
Again, just a reminder, all of this is being recorded. If at any point you want to go back and check those instructions on how to view that specific report, it's going to be in the replay, and that'll be shared in the Facebook page. I'm seeing some people in the chat. Matthew, I see almost everything is above 10%. Well done. That's great. I see, yeah.
30 to 40%.
Michelle. Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
I had no idea, but 30 to 40, that's crazy.
That's all. You better start driving ads. Highest is 56. That's crazy. Okay.
These are good numbers, guys. Well done.
Yeah.
Lots of pats on the back here.
Awesome.
One thing to keep in mind, of course, is the number of sessions you're getting. So if you're not seeing much traffic right now and you have a really high conversion rate, that's still great. But as you scale, as you drive more traffic to these product listings, your conversion rate may go down depending on the quality of your traffic. Something to keep in mind. But for those of you who have high conversion rates, now let's see, can you start scaling that? Can you start getting more and more traffic to those product listings and keep at least something similar in the ballpark of what you've got right now? Right.
Like if it's really high right now, but you don't have a lot of traffic, don't be surprised if it starts to go down as you increase the traffic. Because overall, that's kind of just part of the growth process, I guess, right?
Matthew, a good session amount is as many as you can get as long as it's relevant traffic. We'll talk more about that later, but you want lots of high quality relevant traffic. Let's keep this going. I want to make sure that we have plenty of time to do some teardowns at the end, because it looks like you guys have some really good stores that we could all share and talk about together. So let's keep this rolling. I want to talk more about, we're still on conversion rate optimization here. We're still talking about your product listings. Let's talk about some of the most important factors. And if anyone is in the skincare niche, if anyone's in like the beauty or skincare space, you'll probably have heard of Tula. They're a really big brand. They've been doing very well since the pandemic hit. This is one of the categories of e-commerce that's been doing well during COVID-19. And I took a screenshot of their Amazon product listing for this one product. And I just took a note of some of the key things that we consider on our team for product images, the listing text, the reviews and ratings. Really, there's some really clean and straightforward best practices here. Ideally, you've got 5 to 7 plus images. The first image needs to be a product on a white background. There are some recommendations around the number of pixels, listing text. Ideally, your title, your product title, so like Tula Probiotic Skincare. Ideally, that's 150 characters or longer. There are quite a few products that are in like the like I would say 80 to 100 character range that still do very well, but oftentimes that's because it's a big brand that does TV commercials and they don't really need to push hard to optimize their titles. So just one thing to keep in mind. In terms of the bullet points, 5 bullet points is the sweet spot. You will see people that go for 7. You will see people that go, a whole mix of different bullet points in that product description section. But I always recommend 5 bullet points. It's enough that you can skim and get lots of nice value for someone who's just glancing at the product without being overwhelming. Keep in mind, just like copy on your website, when you get to the point where you've got a ton of text that's starting to fill up a screen that someone's looking at, it just becomes intimidating. Me and Maddie, like when you and I were optimizing our own agency website, you and I talked about this a lot of just making sure that we were keeping our paragraphs to like 2 sentences max and keeping things really nice and tight.
Yep, definitely. I think something to note too, just on these pages, is pretty much all Amazon pages look the same. So you really want to capitalize on the images and the copy and things like that, because it's not like you can use other fancy things to make your page stand out. It's really just the content that's there. So really taking the time to, invest in this aspect will pay off for sure.
Danielle, I see you're asking about the bullet points. No, you're not limited to 5. It's just I recommend you stick with 5. That's kind of the sweet spot where we've seen the best conversion rates on these product listings, but you can do more. It's not a hard limit. Mark is asking for a teardown. Mark, we won't forget about you. We will get back to you. Absolutely. Thank you for that. So just a couple other quick rules of thumb before we move on. When you're getting new products listed on Amazon, as quickly as possible, try to get above the 10 review mark. As soon as you get into double digits, there's a huge increase in your conversion rate. Anything that's in the single digits of the number of reviews, that's going to hurt. That's really going to tank your conversion rate. People trust it a lot more once you get over 10. Once you get over 100, that's another milestone. It's like the number of digits that people see that makes the biggest difference there. Okay, keeping this moving. Let's see if this screen loads. Google Slides is angry at me. All right, here we go. Nope. I'm just going to show this to you guys this way, and I'm going to refresh because Google Slides doesn't like how many images I have, I think. Let's see if I can do this without pulling up the full screen.
There's just too much good content.
I think the bandwidth, the internet's angry at me for all these images. Okay, but you guys can see this, right? If anyone is like, this is way too tiny, just chat me. But I think you guys can see this. So we at Ecom Allies, we're a big fan of using tools to quickly evaluate listings. One of the tools that we use is Helium 10. There's other tools like Jungle Scout. There's a bunch of great tools out there for evaluating your product listings. We personally just happen to use Helium 10. We find it very intuitive and simple and easy to use. And I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what this actually looks like in my browser here. Too much good content, crashing the system. Thanks, Mike. Okay, you guys can see this. So we're on Amazon, and I've got this Tula skincare product up here. So Helium 10, this is they have a free Chrome extension. You can use the free version. I'm on a paid plan, but you can still use what I'm about to show you if you're using the free version. And what I really like about Helium 10 is it's going to automatically add this section right here, evaluation result. So we don't have to be looking at this one product. We might go take a look at makeup. But for any product that I pull up, Helium 10's Chrome extension is going to recognize the product, and it's going to evaluate it for me. And so let's see if, yep, there it is. Evaluation result, 9.33 out of 10. And this is for this Coty Air Spun face powder. Okay, I don't know what this product is. It says loose face powder. Maddie, I don't know if you know what this is. This is kind of foreign territory for me.
Yeah. Just tread lightly. I'm not really sure, but we'll just roll with it. It's something.
It's something. I don't use too much face powder, but when I do, I use Coty Air Spun.
Right.
Now, let's talk about these product images. So here, in this case, number of product images that they're using, 7. Helium 10 says you should use at least 7. That's great. Main image background is white. Yep. Image dimensions are good. You can see right here, there's a column for what the actual data is for this product listing. And then there's another column for what Helium 10 recommends. Fred is asking if we can enlarge the image. Let me think about that.
I think that might have been from the PowerPoint potentially. Fred, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think because it was kind of small in there, I think we're probably better now.
Okay.
But Fred, let us know if this is better.
Cool. So yeah, what I really like about Helium 10 is with this tool, again, free Chrome extension. I recommend you give it a try. We don't work with Helium 10. We're not associated with Helium 10. They're not paying us any money. Just a fan of the product. There's also Jungle Scout. The data is right there telling you what's on this page, right side by side with the recommendations from Helium 10. So this looks really good. The one thing that Helium 10 they dinged this score on was the title character count. And you can see here, this is a little bit shorter than we would typically look for. I would aim for something a little bit longer, especially if you're a younger brand that's kind of building brand awareness. I use this, this is another free, I have like a million Chrome extensions. There's this edit this page Chrome extension I'm using right now. I'm not actually editing Amazon, of course. I would put in some more keywords here. If you're a big brand and you have a huge brand presence and you already have a ton of brand awareness online, this may be less of a concern for you. But if you're getting started with your brand, you're in the early years and you're trying to start building up more rankings on Amazon, I'd recommend putting in some more keywords. So here I'd probably put something about
you could say like setting powder.
Setting powder.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if it's actually, okay, it doesn't fight wrinkles. I'm reading some of the bullet points down here. It says hides lines and wrinkles. So maybe I'd say
skin smoothing.
Ooh, yeah.
Something like that.
That sounds nice. Good wordsmithing. Okay, I don't know what setting powder is, but you get the idea. The point being, getting some of the keywords that you want this product to rank for organically, getting them into this title. We'll get more into that in a second, but just making a point of what Helium 10 is talking about. Okay, let's get back to our handy dandy slide deck that it wasn't really cooperating with us. Okay, so if you guys, there was a long link. There was a really long link for the Helium 10 Chrome extension, which is why I created a bit.ly for you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the chat. This bit.ly Amazon boss status, this is gonna take you directly to the free Chrome extension.
There is a question here asking, are commas recommended or only spaces for the title? In my opinion, I feel like it makes sense to have commas where it makes sense, but Charlie, do you have thoughts on that?
It's a good question. I feel like this really, it's not like it's gonna hurt you from like a title optimization perspective to have commas in there. I think there's a balance to be struck here. On the one hand, you wanna make sure that you're getting some keywords into the product title and you're utilizing all the character space that you want to utilize. On the other hand, you want to make sure this is still readable by humans who are going to be buying these products and that it's easy for people to skim, because people don't really read, they skim. So, well, I'm talking online. Hopefully people still read in the offline world. And so I would say commas are fine. Many of our clients where we've optimized their product listings, we use commas to separate keywords or to separate different parts of the product title. The other thing that you'll see is, like in the example that I had in the slide deck from Tula, they were using, I don't know what you call that, but the vertical line to separate sections. And Melissa Wallace is asking, what is the name of the editing extension? Wow, which of these 1,000 things was I using here? It's
it was like yeah, that one.
Yeah, it's called Edit This Page. I just click Edit This Page. Basically, it's kind of like doing the inspect source code for a site, and you click on it, and you can just start deleting things you don't like. I'm just going to get rid of all that, and now we have a whole different page here. You know, it's really just playing around with the HTML and CSS. Well, not CSS, playing around with the HTML. Charlie likes playing with pages. Anyways, that's just a fun, handy dandy tool, not directly related to what we're talking about here. Okay, next slide. Let's, before we move on to talking about keywords, you're welcome, Melissa. Before we move on to talking about competitors' keywords and how you can identify them and use them, any questions so far? Any questions about using Helium 10 or optimizing your product listings. Again, knowing that we are going to get to teardowns in just a little bit. We're not quite there yet, but do you have any questions so far? Maddie and I are both taking a look at the chat. I think we answered the questions. I see one question about how is Helium 10 doing this? Helium 10, I imagine Jungle Scout does this too. They crawl websites. Oh, actually for this specific thing that we're talking about, it's using JavaScript to look at specific pieces of the page and compare that to their criteria. It's just some JavaScript that's taking action on the page. Once the page loads, the Helium 10 tool compares the information that loaded to some information it has in its database and just looks at the difference. Mark?
I also like to think of it as magic because some of it is just, it's really cool to see that data. So
Helium 10 marketing magic, that works too.
Yep.
I think we got a new question. Mark, yes. How many characters for the title? 150, 80, 250. So the best practice from what I've seen, from what we've seen at our agency is 150 characters or more tends to be the best conversion rate for most of our clients. Again, it doesn't have to be 150 characters or more. There are quite a few brands that have product titles with like 80 to 100 characters, and those convert just fine. The key thing to keep in mind is that you're trying to strike a balance here between essentially this is like SEO on Amazon, whereas with like when you're trying to rank your pages from your website on Google for the search engine and you're doing SEO, you're paying attention to the keywords that you're using. There's all these different factors, these different variables that you're trying to pay attention to there. I think with Amazon, there's definitely some ranking stuff going on, very similar to SEO, but it's also the balance of making sure that this is all human readable and that people can glance at the product title, immediately know what it is, and they're going to click because they're excited. So some brands aim more for the human readable side and something that's just a little bit more curiosity provoking or exciting. Other brands optimize a little bit more for the ranking side of the equation. We at Ecom Allies try to find a nice balance. You want to have some keywords in there. And so we do tend to go for the 150 characters or longer to make sure we can get all the keywords in that we want, while at the same time having things make sense to the human eye. And yeah, I see you guys are talking about the recording. Everyone's going to get this recording. So if you have to step away at any point, the kids are causing a fuss in the other room, the dog's barking, needs to go out, whatever's going on. You know, we're all in the pandemic life right now, and there's lots of things happening. If you need to step away, by all means, step away. You'll get the recording, and you'll get our contact information at the end as well.
Yep. One other little question on bullet points, Charlie. Someone is asking, would you have bullet points in French as well for Canada, so to target the Quebec market? Do you have thoughts on that?
For sure. Yeah, I mean, whatever Amazon marketplace you're optimizing for, you're going to want to. Oh, maybe I'm going to see if I can find this question, because there's different marketplaces. So there's different Amazon marketplaces for different countries, different regions. But some brands, they are selling to people who are speaking English and perhaps French, or English and Spanish, and they're doing it on the same marketplace. I'm trying to see if that's the question.
It just says, would you have bullet points in French as well in Canada, and then in parentheses to target?
Oh yeah, okay, I see. Cool. I think you can do that, yes. I think generally speaking, it comes down to a deep understanding of who your best customers are. And if you know that there's people going to the same product listing in both English and French, sure, you can have like a list of bullet points in one language first, and then afterwards have it in the other language. I think this is a question about the way that you want to organize your content from one marketplace to another, though, too, because you might want to have reviews in one language for Canada and reviews in another language for the United States. But because Canada does have multiple languages that are pretty, English and French are dominant in those places, you can certainly have both on the same product listing. I would recommend we talk about it at the end, and we might want to take it offline and chat about it, because Amazon does have some tools to handle that scenario. Okay, I don't think there's any other questions about conversion rate. I don't think there's any other conversion rate questions, so let's keep going. Let's talk about how to take a look at your competitors' best keywords. And I'm going to screen share with live data, because, and we can actually just use this page that I was just tearing up with the that edit tool. When it comes to finding keywords that are working for your competitors and keywords that you may want to consider using either for ads or for optimizing with your product listings, Helium 10 is great for that too. And again, not associated with Helium 10, just a big fan. There are plenty of other tools that will help you do this. A Google search will yield quite a few different results. But I'm just a fan of Helium 10. I'm very familiar with it. So if we scroll down, I've destroyed this page. Let me go to something else. Okay, so let's take a look at some random thing here. Let's go to this Lindy, that has only 19 reviews. Let's go to this Alpha Skincare Renewal Body Lotion. Okay, these guys are definitely utilizing some serious keywords that they're trying to optimize for in their product title. Let's take a look at the keywords that are driving sales for this specific product. Now, again, Helium 10 has automatically pulled up this optimization guide over here, but because I have Helium 10 installed in my Chrome browser, when I scroll down, I'm going to see something a little bit different than what you guys are seeing on your page. So I see this little dashboard that's got a bunch of different information that Helium 10 has just added to my screen. And I'm going to go ahead and click on keywords, and it's going to take me into my Helium 10 account. And it's got the product ID. It's looking up the keywords that are driving sales, keywords that are driving traffic to this product. It's got the ASIN right there that I was just looking at. Okay, I'm going to scroll down. You guys can still see this? Yes. Okay, so what's great about this, again, I just feel like I've become a Helium 10 rep. They should really be paying me. Here's the thing that I really like about this. And again, I'm sure Jungle Scout does this too. The platform, the tool Helium 10, has collected a massive database tracking the keywords and the search volume, driving traffic to different product listings. And I can see specifically which phrases are sending traffic to this product listing. This is totally just an estimate. This is not 100% accurate, but an estimated search volume. And there's information about how many other products are competing for this keyword. And it also tells me what is the organic rank for this product, for this keyword. What's the sponsored rank, meaning advertised rank. There's a bunch of great information here. And so if you're trying to figure out how to get ahead with your advertising or how to get ahead with your organic rankings, you can use a tool like this, and then you can start putting in some filters. You might say, I want to see what are the keywords that are driving traffic to this company's product that are, let's talk about organic traffic, and let's talk about only keywords that are driving traffic, only keywords where this product is ranked on like the first page. So they're showing up on the first page of the search results. And maybe we want only to look at keywords that have a minimum of 2,000 searches estimated per month. Let's see what we get with that. I can apply these filters, and it's going to come back to us with some new data. Okay, there's still quite a bit of information here. Wait, is that one page? Yeah, I guess it's just these 11 results. Okay, so this is a healthy amount of data to look at. In this case, again, we started with this product, Alpha Skincare. This is Alpha Skincare's Renewal Body Lotion. We used Helium 10 to look up the keywords that are driving traffic to this page. And we can see here that for all these keywords, that have this product is organically ranking either in the first spot or all the way up to, in this case, up to the 8th spot. These are the keywords, and they all have over 2,000 searches a month. There's different amounts of competing products. Maybe I want to go a level deeper and say, you know what? I don't want to compete with that many products. Let's say a max of 500 competing products for the keyword. Okay, now we scroll down a little bit and the competing products is under 500. We've got 3 different keywords here. Let's take a look at this alpha hydroxy lotion. They're ranking in the first place for it. I can just click this button here and it's going to pull up Amazon. And okay, so there's some companies that are advertising. Alpha Skincare is advertising on this keyword. And when I scroll down to the organic results, yep, they are the first organic result for alpha hydroxy lotion. And you can see here that there's a number of people who are advertising on this keyword. And oftentimes what you'll see is you'll see the company that's ranked organically, number 1, is also advertising for that keyword. And that's typically a defensive measure. That's typically a, hey, we want to keep this moat really deep and wide. We want to make sure that no one pushes us out of this number 1 spot. And so it's very common to see that whichever brand has or product has that number 1 organic spot, that means they're getting a ton of organic sales because they're showing up at the very top of the search results. And normally there wouldn't be all of this this information right here. This is from Helium 10. It's very common that they're going to be advertising for that keyword too. And yeah, it looks like up at the very top, we've got ads from the same company in the headline search ads.
So talking about being advertising on defense, there's offense and defense. Explaining both of those briefly, which do you think is more common for people to do?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I feel like the way that, as a marketer, the way that I think about offense and defense on a platform like a search platform, whether that's Google or that's Amazon, I like to think of branded search terms where you've got your company name in the keyword that you're bidding on. Branded search terms are defense for sure. Absolutely, because that's you just trying to make sure that people who are actively searching for your products, that they get your products and they don't get taken away by some competitor who's advertising on your keywords. And then non-branded, typically I see that as offense, generally speaking. Non-branded meaning you're bidding on terms like glycolic alpha hydroxy acid, or you're advertising on anti-aging formula, whatever it is that doesn't have your company's name in it or your product's name in it. That's typically what we'd call non-branded. And that's where I'd say you're going on the hunt. That's offense. You're going hunting for sales. However, in this case, for this specific company, given that this company has a very useful keyword that they're ranking on in the number 1 organic search result, they're going to play defense. Even though they're ranking organically, they want to continue to advertise on that keyword to make sure they stay there. They probably got to that spot by advertising on that keyword until they eventually got there and doing a lot of other stuff in the background. And now that they have that number 1 search result spot organically, again, the product, I can go search on there and I can see the organic product listing without even seeing ads. I can just see that in the first spot. They're going to keep advertising on that phrase or that keyword because they want to make sure they stay there. And the reason why this matters is that if they weren't advertising on that keyword, and if other brands were spending a lot of money on that keyword, and that was driving a lot of sales away from their organic 1 spot product and to these competitors, eventually this company is going to lose that spot. Eventually, this company is going to lose the number 1 spot for that keyword. And they'll get pushed down to number 2 and then number 3. And eventually, they might lose the first page altogether. And the first page is where the majority of the sales happens.
Yep, that makes sense. Thank you for clearing that up.
Cool. Let's keep going. I know that a lot of you guys are just waiting for the teardowns, which is, I feel like that's the way a lot of my calls go with people when we're talking about Amazon. But real quick, let's do another poll. I want to get a sense of, are you guys actively tracking your organic keyword rankings? So again, we were just talking about the organic rankings and the search results. Let us know, where are you at with this? Is this something you guys are tracking?
Real quick, we did have one poll running just asking what industry they're serving. So this was from a few minutes ago. If we want to look at these stats, and then we can run that other poll. But it looks like we have a lot in fashion and apparel, accessories, home goods, beauty and cosmetics, health and wellness, food. It's pretty much all over the board here. It looks like everything is represented except for electronics and baby care. So it looks like we have a lot of different stuff going on here. So it's great to see. And then I'm going to end this poll real quick here, guys, and then we'll start the other one.
Just throwing polls at you left and right.
Oh yeah, just be ready. All right, give me one.
It looked
second.
like there was one of you guys who was in the baby care or whatever that category was. It's really interesting. I don't know if you guys have been keeping track of what e-commerce product categories have been doing best during the pandemic. Klaviyo has a great resource. Let me see if I can find that for you guys real quick. There's this great resource from Klaviyo that you guys are going to see all my bookmarks, but I don't really care. Here we go. I'm going to put this in the chat for you guys. This link that I just put into the chat, this is from Klaviyo, which is an email marketing service provider. They have a direct integration with Shopify. And if you click on that link, it's going to take you to this COVID-19 e-commerce marketing poll. And in this case, they've got a ton of data about, let me see if I can just pull it up real quick. They've got a ton of data on which industries, which verticals are doing best during COVID-19. So it's got a bunch of information about how the coronavirus is impacting global e-commerce sales. I'm not going to get into that right now, just some food for thought. Okay, where are we at on this poll?
Looking back at we're doing pretty good. It looks like 25% have said yes, about 53% no, and about 20% I'm not sure. So a little all over the map here, but yeah,
cool.
Good to know.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and make a very large assumption here and say, if you're not sure if you're tracking your organic keyword rankings, probably not, because Amazon's not going to do that for you. Amazon doesn't automatically track your organic keyword rankings. That's something you need to do outside of Amazon. Okay, cool. So go ahead, Maddie.
Oh, I was just going to say, how's everyone feeling? How are we doing? We're about 48 minutes in here. Where's everyone watching from? Drop in the chat. I'm in Florida.
Let's all just let's take a breather. We've got a couple more sections left. Let's do a quick breather here. I'm in Austin, Texas.
Oh yeah, we got Texas. Here, I'll put my little
land of tacos.
There you go. We do have good tacos. We got Quebec. Jay says
Argentina.
He's feeling it. Okay.
Toronto,
Chicago. California, Cincinnati. I'm originally from Ohio, Orlando, New York, Pasadena, Maryland, Atlanta. There we go. Turkey, San Diego. All right, we're doing good. Everyone feeling good? Ready for the next part?
Great job, Maddie. I appreciate you keeping people on their toes. I feel like it's so easy for me to just keep blasting through content. It's good for a little question just to check in, make sure you guys are listening. Okay.
Yeah, it's all good.
We got places all over the world. This is great. Those of you in Australia, wow. Thank you for joining us.
Very cool. Hope everyone's hanging in there. I know we're all in this whole pandemic together. So sending our thoughts. We're going to get through it. All right. You ready, Charlie? Moving on.
Let's do it. I know there's quite a few people who are waiting for the teardown, so I'm going to try to get through these last couple of sections pretty quickly. Then we'll get to the teardowns right afterwards. But there are some things in here that when I have calls with CEOs and when we have group calls with our marketing team, it's so often that some of these things have never been considered. So I think these are absolutely worth covering. I'll try to be concise here so we have time for the teardowns. So let's talk about boosting your organic rankings. We just talked about, we just went through how to find those keywords, and the tool Helium 10 is great for that. Jungle Scout, other tools as well. Once you identify those keywords, okay, cool. Well, what do you do with that? Well, the reason why we're talking about this at all is because advertising eventually has diminishing returns. Whether you're advertising on Facebook and Instagram or Google or Amazon or somewhere else, eventually there's kind of this like chart where things start to taper off. And eventually if you keep spending, your cost per acquisition goes so high that you start getting less profit. And so one of the things that happens with Amazon is your advertising, it is absolutely essential for scaling indefinitely. Like advertising is 100% a tool for scaling in the long term, month over month. But one of the things that happens is you get to a point where your advertising doesn't necessarily lead to increased profits when you increase the budget. You need to start focusing on driving organic sales. And you can do that with advertising, but you're going to need to make sure you identify the right tools to focus on. And so one of the things that I'm going to show you, and again, I feel like I'm so biased here. I just keep showing you guys Helium 10. But one of the things that Helium 10's suite of tools, they've got a bunch of different tools. One of the tools that we use with Helium 10 is their keyword tracker. And what this does is it's going to track your rankings for different keywords. And this is, I believe this is only available with the paid plan. So you guys probably won't see the same screenshots that I'm showing you here if you log into a free account. But the nice thing about using a tool like Helium 10 is you can go ahead and plug in your URL for the product or your ASIN, and you can go ahead and start tracking the keyword rankings. There are a couple of preliminary steps to do this. You're going to need to connect Helium 10 to your accounts, and that way you can pull the data in through the API. There's some like kind of step-by-step instructions that it'll walk you through. But once you make all the connections and everything's nice and tidy, then you're going to end up with a table like this. And you're going to be able to see a list of the keywords that the product that you're tracking is ranking for. And what's really cool is there's trends. So it's going to give you information over time, information about how your various marketing activities are affecting your keyword rankings. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that there's a good chance that you're going to rank for quite a few different keywords, and many of those rankings really aren't going to do anything for you. So you can always filter these keywords and just look at the stuff that is really driving traffic. You can filter by search volume, you can filter by organic rank, but it's a great way to just have a sense of where you're at and how things are going as a result of your marketing efforts. And one thing, I just saw a question in the chat, which paid plan do you recommend for those just starting out? There's a couple of different options. Again, I'm most experienced with Helium 10, so I'm going to speak to this. With Helium 10, I would say if you're just looking to start tracking organic rankings, I'm pretty sure you can just pay for this one feature, the keyword tracker. Pretty sure you can just pay for that. I think it might be like $37 a month. There is a full suite of options of different tools from product research, keyword research, listing optimization that become available when you do like the $100 a month plan. Mark P just said $97 is good. I would say the same thing. That's the best bang for your buck with a tool like Helium 10. If you can go up to the $97 a month, you're going to get access to a whole suite of different tools, and that's going to give you a lot more value for the money. Again, just a quick reminder here, the reason why we're talking about tracking organic rankings is so that you can start driving more sales from organic search results. And the paid traffic that you get, absolutely essential for scaling your business, for getting more revenue, of course. But organic rankings are really important too, because your sales, the advertising that you do for various keywords that you're focusing on, that's going to have an impact on your organic rankings. When people click on an ad after they search for, hemp topical pain relief, and then they see your ad, and then they click on it, and then they buy your product, Amazon's algorithm is going to give you some credit for that keyword, and it's going to boost up your ranking a little bit. So the more that happens, the more you're going to rank organically. The more you rank organically, the more sales you're going to get. Are organic search results from search engines outside of Amazon? No. So organic search results, I realize there's a bunch of different terms that sound very similar to things you guys have probably heard from search engine optimization for, let's say, Google. When I'm talking about organic search results right now, I'm specifically talking about on Amazon. There's organic search results that take place on other search platforms as well, like Google or Bing. Totally different set of rankings. Which plan am I on? I'm on the plan that I was showing you guys from my account in Helium 10 was the $97 a month plan. So this plan right here, like this portal that I'm looking at, this is the $97 a month plan. Our agency has a separate account, but for me personally, when I use it, I'm just on the $97 a month plan. Alicia, I see some stuff about your products. How can I stand out more without having the budget as large as other companies? We will get to you. Let's talk a little bit more about how you can actually use this information. Let's say you sign up with a tool like Jungle Scout or Helium 10. Let's say you start figuring out what keywords you want to rank for, the ones that are driving a lot of traffic for some of your competitors, and you start tracking your organic rankings. Well, great. Now what do you do? This is showing you rankings over time. Well, what you'd want to do once you have some organic keywords you want to rank for is you start advertising on those keywords. And I'd recommend you start with either phrase or exact match and start advertising for the keywords that you want to rank higher for. If you've got some very specific keywords that you're really close to ranking for on the first page of the search results, I'd say create an ad campaign on your Amazon account, create an ad campaign with exact match for that specific keyword, and just like really hammer that keyword hard so you can start driving more and more sales for it to boost your algorithm score so you get onto the first page of search results. Go ahead, Maddie.
I was just going to say, we have one more question that's kind of tied to this. Parker's asking, does search in Amazon, I'm assuming, does ranking on Amazon help with ranking in Google?
Parker, that's an interesting question. I haven't thought about that before. I don't believe so, but don't quote me on that because I've really never thought about it. I believe that because they're totally separate algorithms, I believe that these things don't really touch each other.
I kind of feel like, this is all speculation too. We can look into this deeper later, but I kind of feel like Amazon's like its own world. Like Amazon kind of wants to exist as its own place. So it probably keeps it pretty separate, but that's why we have Google to search. So this is good.
There's I used to have this bookmark. There's like a let me Google that for you tool. I don't have an answer to that question. It's a good question. Parker, my guess is that there's no impact if you rank really highly on Amazon. I think that's totally separate. But I don't know for sure. It's an interesting one that I will definitely take that as something to look into. Oh, I was just going to say one other thing about driving traffic to a specific keyword that you are trying to rank for. And we saw this before with the example that we were using before. And here's another example. It's so common to see, in this case, I searched for probiotics face cleanser. And the first ad I saw was for this company called Ungaro. Well, when I scrolled down the page, there's that sponsored ad for that product. When I scrolled down this page, the 8th search result, organic search result, was the exact same product that was being advertised for that keyword. And if you look at the product title, probiotics face cleanser was the search, and the product title begins with probiotic facial cleanser. So this is a clear case of a marketer with very specific intentions behind marketing this product. They are advertising on this search term that they're already ranking for organically in the 8th spot. And they might have gotten there because of the advertising, but they're still advertising because they want to get higher in the search rankings. They're hopefully going to get up to the number 1 spot eventually. Maybe they never will, but that's an important keyword considering that they're advertising on it. They've got the phrase at the very beginning of their product title, and they're ranking organically for it. You see that a lot. Okay, I don't see other questions related to that section, and I want to make sure we keep moving forward. So I'm going to keep going. I'm hoping you guys are still with me. Amazon bundles. Who's ever sold products using a bundle link before? Just throw it into the chat, like a yes, a no, yay or nay. Has anyone ever used a bundle URL to sell multiple products at the same time on Amazon?
Or have you heard of it, or have you not heard of it? Because up until recently, I didn't really know this was a big thing. So it's pretty interesting, though. And Charlie's going to tell us about it.
Yeah, this is something that, okay, I see one yes so far, mostly no's. This is something that, okay, Mary just created her first one. So this is one of those things that I feel like you really have to be thoughtful about how you use this. Typically, our clients use this bundle approach when they're doing email marketing to their email database, or through advertising on Facebook and Instagram, which is an external source of traffic that they're then going to drive to Amazon. But here's how it works. So you can create a bundle URL where when someone clicks on that link, it's going to then pull up multiple products that they can really quickly add to their shopping cart with one button. If I click that continue button, I am going to add this Fred banana stand phone stand and this brain booster supplement at the same time to my shopping cart. Now, I just randomly picked 2 very random products from 2 separate companies, and I put them into one link. Now, in your case, you probably want to find some products that support each other and that make sense to go hand in hand. And then you'd create your URL for a bundle. And what's really cool about that is you can send an email to your customer list, or you can put an ad out on Instagram, Facebook, somewhere else, an external source of traffic, put out an ad with this as the URL. And when they go to Amazon, they're going to see these multiple products that they can add at the same time. And how you do this? Well, this is, once again, our friends over at Helium 10. They've got this free page. It's called the Gems page, and I'll show you the link in just a second. But you basically just put in the product ASINs, so the unique identifiers for the products, and the quantities, and you can generate a URL to have multiple products be added to the shopping cart with one click. And Amy, you're asking if bundling doesn't have to be within your own store. That's correct. You can build a URL that has multiple products from different stores at the same time. That's not a use case I've actually ever seen before. I just did that, as a silly example. I think if you're buying a banana stand phone stand, maybe you need a brain booster. I don't know what that product is for. Oh, it's a phone stand, actually. Banana stand, phone stand.
Something. Carla was asking what the benefit of this is.
So the benefit, this is again, the typical use case here is you're doing some form of marketing with an external traffic source, either your email list or perhaps ads on Facebook and Instagram. And the way that we've used this with our clients is we will have let's say we created a discount code in your Amazon store for one of these products. And we say, hey, this goes really well with this. So if you have multiple products that complement each other, that go really well hand in hand, you can create this one URL that's going to make it really easy for people to add both to their shopping cart. And it's very common to try to do this through email because you can have a little bit more room for telling a story or building up value. And then you can get people to add multiple items to their shopping cart at the same time after they've seen some testimonials or some reviews or a story or a video, and try to get your average order value higher. This doesn't work for all product categories. It doesn't work for every store. It really depends on what products you're selling. But if you do have products that go hand in hand together, if you do have products that if you're going to buy this, you absolutely should really consider buying this too, this is a link for you. And here's the link. Very simple. helium10.com/gems. There's a bunch of different tools on that page. Bundling is just one of them. Okay, in the interest of time, I'm going to keep going. I'm trying to keep an eye on the chat. I don't see any other questions just yet, so I'm going to keep going. Maddie, did I miss anything?
I think we're good right now. I think there's a couple back there, but we can save them for the end. So guys, just hold on to them if you can, and we'll get to them.
Okay, cool. By the way, Melissa, you do not have to have permission from someone else to put their ASIN into that link. All right. Where are we at with the polls?
Let's see. I will start this poll right now. So how are you currently getting reviews on your page?
Yeah, it'd be really interesting to see, if you don't have reviews yet, if you're using some form of tool, if you're just letting it happen naturally. Some people, they bug their friends and family.
This is actually super interesting because so far nobody's said they've asked their friends and family, and I feel like I hear that most commonly as one, maybe when people are getting started. So if you haven't tried that, it might be something to try to just get some traction there. Okay, it looks like some people are starting to click that, but yeah, a lot of people are saying that they're not. Other people should be sending it in the chat. It looks like they're using something else. Some people are using a tool. Yeah, but most people are saying they're not. Melissa's saying through Amazon Asks. Let's see. Looks like Amy and a couple other people are through Vine reviews. And then Amazon's early review program. So a couple different things here. But yeah, a lot of people that aren't. So if you aren't, are you looking, I hope you're looking to get them, because we have a couple tactics to do that, which should help. Reviews are definitely important, but this is good to know.
Okay, that's great. I feel like, yeah, so Amy mentioned that the early reviewer program wasn't particularly useful. It hasn't been particularly useful for our clients either. Yeah.
So for asking friends and family, I think the thing with that is you kind of just need to ask in a way that you're not asking for like a positive review or a negative one. It's kind of like with anything, you have to just say, hey, can you try this? And they can give an honest review. So it's like, you don't want to try to sway people just because that is in Amazon's terms, but I don't think it's bad to ask just for someone's, genuine feedback.
And just to clarify, Carla, if you're talking specifically about asking, let's say like family members, friends, as opposed to just like asking for reviews in general, yes, Amazon does not want you to get your close personal friends and family members reviewing your products. It is okay to ask people in general to leave reviews, but technically you are not supposed to ask friends and family for reviews.
Okay.
That's something that. And the reason why we included one of those things in the poll options is because that's such a common thing. So many people, when they launch a new product, they get a new product listed on their store, they'll just immediately text their friends, they'll email their family, and they'll try to get them to buy the product and leave a review. And you just want to be super, super careful. Yeah, like I just see a comment in there about being careful when the reviewer has the same last name. 100%. I ended up like years ago, I self-published a book on Amazon, and I think my sister, my dad, my mom, and some friends all left reviews on Amazon. They bought the book and they left some reviews, and I think only like 2 out of 5 reviews actually lasted. The others got pulled, and so you do want to be careful when it comes to friends and family, especially if they have the last name. Generally speaking, just rule of thumb here, try to get real customers with real reviews, not people who are going to be biased. That being said, let's talk about ways to get more reviews, because reviews are obviously huge for your conversion rate. This is something that this first tool that we're going to talk about, the email follow-up method, you can manually send emails to people to get reviews from your Amazon seller account, but it's just so much easier to automate it. There's a lot of different tools for automating the emails. They all tap into the Amazon API. Seller Labs has a tool called Feedback Genius, which we use with a lot of our clients. Very, very simple and straightforward. You can even customize you can't customize everything, but you can customize a lot of the text in the email. And this is just going to make sure that people who buy your products get an email. It's through Amazon system. It's all kosher, nothing that's kind of like black hat here. And it's going to increase the odds of you getting reviews. Automating the email follow-up process is kind of a no-brainer. There's a bunch of other ways to get reviews. So we're going to talk about some of the ways that are a little bit less mainstream. And when I say get reviews, there's no guarantee that you're going to get reviews from a lot of these techniques. I'm not going to encourage you to like try to force anyone to give you a review or to use an incentive like a coupon or a discount in exchange for a review, because when you start going down that territory, you tend to break policy. You tend to break Amazon's terms and conditions. And while that's certainly something that many of you guys, if you're in Facebook groups or LinkedIn groups, where you may have seen blog posts about it, there are lots of tools or lots of techniques that can help you get reviews in ways that use discounts or incentives. They tend to break policy, and so you just want to be really careful that you're not putting your business at risk. Can you please add the link from Amazon for reviews? Alicia, are you talking about this Feedback Genius link, or are you talking about from your Amazon seller account? I will keep an eye on the chat. But let's talk about giveaways for reviews. I just mocked this up in a tool called Funnelytics. I like to map out funnels when I'm trying to think through how different traffic channels and pages connect. And this is an example of how you might put together a giveaway. You could do a giveaway on, let's say, Facebook and Instagram. You start doing some Facebook and Instagram ads. You're talking in very loud and open terms, giveaway. People are going to get something for free. That always grabs attention. You send them to a landing page where you can collect their email address. After they give you the email address, you start sending them some emails. During the email process between the start of the giveaway and the end of the giveaway, ideally you're adding some value through email to build trust with people. And then at the end of the giveaway period, let's say the giveaway is like, for the next 2 weeks, you can enter this giveaway. At the end, on this date, we're going to pick winners. Well, the winners, they win. They get something. But the losers are the money. The losers are the people who are going to be the vast majority of the people who enter your giveaway. And you can send them to Amazon with a discount code that you create in Amazon, in your Amazon store. And you can send people to your Amazon store with that discount code to go drive sales there, because they were interested in whatever you were giving away, but they didn't win. And so now you can give them kind of a consolation prize. And here's an example. So this is something that one of our clients did. In this specific case, the primary hook to grab people's attention was giving away a free Peloton. And the bit.ly link that's used there takes, on the left-hand side of the screen, by the way, is the ad, the Facebook ad. On the right-hand side of the screen is a screenshot from the landing page. The landing page was super, super simple. The ad on the left-hand side, very eye-catching. If you look at the top, it starts with a free Peloton could be on its way to you very soon. Enter now. There's a picture of there's a model who's on the Peloton. Underneath that, win a Peloton bike, $3,000 value. Now note that in the text, it does mention that it comes with 1 year supply of weight loss coffee. So the idea here is that you want to get people who actually want the product that you sell. And so we don't always recommend giving away something like a Peloton. You might want to give away your own product or a gift card to your store if you have like a Shopify store. And that way you're qualifying the email subscribers. You're focusing on getting people who care about what you sell. and you get their email address. So you can actually contact them and send them a discount. And the idea here is that anyone who doesn't win is going to get emailed with a discount code, some sort of offer from your Amazon store. So you can go send them to Amazon and drive sales there. Now, notice that I'm not specifically talking about reviews. This is where things get a little bit dicey. You want to be very, very careful about how you ask for reviews. You can certainly ask people to leave reviews. You may have heard, like I was saying before, in either Facebook groups or LinkedIn groups, you may have heard of people saying, well, go leave a review, take a screenshot, email us the screenshot, and we'll give you something for free. That does happen, but that is definitely breaking the terms, the policies on Amazon. So you want to be very, very careful about that. If you're a big business and you've got a lot of your revenue coming from Amazon, I would recommend you follow the policies. But this technique of using a giveaway to get email addresses and then sending those people who didn't win whatever the giveaway product is, sending those people to Amazon, great way to drive a lot of traffic to your store. And some percentage of those people are going to leave reviews. You can always ask for reviews. You just technically can't offer an incentive for a review. Okay, last item before we get to the teardowns. I'll be brief here. Chatbots for reviews. Let's do another funnel for you. Facebook and Instagram ads, sending traffic to Messenger. Messenger sends traffic to Amazon. So how does this work? With chatbots really just blew up over the last few years. Okay, before I do this, Kyle is asking, how do you get the emails though? In this funnel, when you're advertising on Facebook and Instagram, I'm sending traffic to a landing page where to participate in the giveaway, they have to enter their email address. So they enter their email address, that's an opt-in, that's where you start emailing them. And yes, through email, you would be requesting reviews, you'd be sending them to Amazon. Okay, cool. Chatbots for reviews. So the idea here is that you're gonna drive people, instead of to a landing page, you could drive traffic to Messenger, where you can communicate with people directly. It's kind of like a shortcut, taking out the middleman of the landing page and getting straight to a one-on-one conversation before sending people to Amazon. So here's a couple screenshots. I think I took this from the Landing Cube site. There's a bunch of different tools out there that help you do chatbot messaging. You guys have probably heard of tools like ManyChat. There's a bunch of them out there. But the nice thing here is that you can automate this and you can send coupons that you create in your Amazon store. You can have those as part of a message sequence in a chatbot. And when people click on an ad that takes them to Messenger, well, now you can start this dialogue with them and send them a coupon code with a link to your Amazon store. Mark is asking, what software has this type of funnel with a landing page and chatbot? In cases like this, whether it's doing a giveaway or it's doing a chatbot, with either funnel, some of the tools that I tend to use are, let's say we're talking giveaways. For landing pages, I like to build out landing pages with Shogun on Shopify. There's Pagefly, there's Zipify, there's a bunch of different landing page builders. Shogun is my go-to because it's affordable and it's really easy and simple, drag and drop. For chatbot, I typically would use ManyChat. It has a bunch of different automation functionality. But yeah, again, the example here that I'm showing you guys is there's an ad. The first image here on the left is an ad. Someone's going to see that. They may have never heard of your brand before, but they see this ad that mentions something, some sort of discount, some sort of promotion, gets their attention. When they click, it's taking them to Messenger, where an automated tool like ManyChat is going to engage them, and it is going to get them to claim a coupon where you can drive them to Amazon. Woo! We've covered a lot of content, and I really appreciate you guys sticking around for this long. So we're going to wrap it up here and switch over to teardowns. Just a quick note. if you guys have, there's a ton of questions in the chat, so I'm sorry we didn't get to every single question, and we're definitely not going to be able to answer every question tonight. If you want to send us your questions, our website is ecommallies.com. You can just email us, hello@ecommallies.com. I've also included Maddie in my LinkedIn profiles, so you can go check us out, say what's up over there. If you have specific questions that we don't get to, you can email us. You can also post in the Shopify Growth Lab Facebook group, which is linked to right here. If you post there, we'll get you answers as well.
Yep. And just another note on everything too, before we go into the teardowns, is just there's a lot of information out there in terms of like hacks and things that you can do on Amazon to kind of cheat the system and little things like that. And you just want to be really, really careful with that kind of stuff, because if it goes against Amazon, they like against their terms, they can take you down. So we've tried, I mean, everything that we do, we really try to go by the books and play by the rules, just because we don't want to risk that for anyone. But just when you're looking at other content and trying to learn things, just, you know, be really aware of that and make sure you're looking at the terms and conditions. So.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like, as business owners, I'm sure all of you guys are eager to sell as much as you can, rank as high as you can. Of course, I'm in the same game as you guys. Obviously, you know, we're an advertising agency, so we have a little bit of a different perspective on this. But we want our clients to succeed as best as possible too. So we're always exploring options like two-step URLs, which is where you try to game the search algorithm into thinking that someone searched for a keyword before they found your product. There's all different types of tools. You can check them out on this helium10.com/gems page. There's some really cool stuff here, but just be mindful that many of these things are going to be breaking the terms and conditions. I'm trying to see if I can find, here we go.
Or if they're not breaking it, there's like a really fine line to where it could be if you go like a step too far. Like even with reviews and things like that. Like I have a friend who he asked me to review his, and I was like, of course I'm going to do that. Like that's my friend, and I liked the product. You know what I mean? But you know, if it's super clear on Amazon, you know, you could potentially try to do these things, but you just have to be, you know, aware of the consequence and just be careful with stuff like that. So, but yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
Okay, I see a bunch of links in the chat. Let's do some teardowns. And now, because there's multiple links here, and because you guys have all been very patient, we're going to try to get to all of you, but we're going to have to be a little bit brief here just to make sure everyone gets a chance. Keep in mind, guys, we're going to be sharing these links. Please only share your link if you're comfortable with us screen sharing, because we are going to screen share and go through this stuff together. Mark.
Want to try to keep it to like a minute or two each, Charlie?
Yeah, that's
rapid fire. Cool.
Let's do it. Mark, I got your link. I'm going to start with yours. I see a bunch of others. Okay, let me screen share again. Here we go. What do we have here? This looks cool. Okay, so Pets Club dog toothbrush chew toy. Interactive dog teeth cleaning dog toys for aggressive chewers, small, medium, large, 25 to 70 pounds, dog breeds. So I'm going to cheat because I'm lazy and because we don't have a ton of time, and I'm going to use helium-10 in addition to my own best practices that I store in my brain. Let's start. We always like to start with the title, and then we typically go to images and then the bullet points. And then we like to scroll down and see if there's any A+ content. In this case, no. So let's take a quick look. So I'm guessing some of these things like teeth cleaning, aggressive chewers, the pounds. I'm guessing that some of these things are, you know, Mark, you took a look at and you were trying to optimize for some keywords, which is great. I see that there are quite a few different thumbnail images here, which is fantastic. Let's see. Okay, cool. You've got some interesting graphics here. You've got a table, comparison table. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 bullet points. Well done. You've got a little emoticon here. That's great. You've got all caps for the thing that you want people to skim. That's another tactic. That's great. Okay, a few notes. I think the first thing that stands out to me is the I would want to understand, Mark, I'm also just going to keep an eye on chat if you have specific questions or feedback to what I'm talking about. But the first thing that stands out to me is I would just want to understand the strategy with your product title and make sure that some of these things that you put in here, like some of these things are not like exactly proper grammar for human eyes, which is why I'm assuming that some of these things are keyword optimizations where you're trying to focus on making sure you're showing up organically. Yeah, that's the first thing I'd want to talk to you about. Is just which of these phrases, which of these keywords have the best search volume and are actually leading to increased sales for you. And you can always test this if you're tracking your keyword rankings. You can test all those keywords I want to rank for. Use Teal and 10. Bravo. Okay, great. Check that box. I'm going to move on to the next thing then. The product images. I'd be curious if you've always had these thumbnails or if you've tested lifestyle photos, because one thing that we've seen increase conversion rates is having some lifestyle photography where it's the real deal. It's the product in action in the natural environment of the customer, the target market you seek to serve. And in this case, perhaps it's a dog using the toy. So Mark, that's just a quick thought. Lifestyle images, I would consider that. And then lastly, one quick note down here. I'm not sure if this is intentional or not, but you've got all caps, all caps, all caps, all caps, not all caps. That's not probably going to hurt your conversion rate, just a quick note. But one thing that might is this is a ton of text. Again, I'm guessing that you're doing this to focus on the algorithm and your search rankings, but this is quite a bit of text. You might consider shortening these paragraphs a little bit. It looks like you've got 3 to 4 sentences for some of these paragraphs. Again, you're probably optimizing for the algorithm, and that's okay too. Just keep in mind that people will be looking at these all caps, and very likely only a handful of people will actually read all of that, but that's okay. Let's see what Helium 10 says. So yes, 7 or more images, white background, title. I think your title length is fine. 5 bullet points, cool. So yeah, to state the obvious, you don't have ratings and reviews here, but that's something that comes with sales. I think that would be the biggest impact thing you could do would be getting, you're still optimizing. It's a new listing. That's really the next big thing. But I think overall, if this is a new listing, great job. Emoticons, 5 bullet points, thumbnails, you're off to a great start. Get some reviews, try to get to 10 reviews, try to get 4 stars. And then when you're ready, create some A+ content. Get some content down here with some images. But overall, this is a really good start. Nice work, Mark.
On that note too, I agree with Charlie. I think some lifestyle pictures might be good to test. And then also I've heard for like new listings or for smaller brands, if you're just getting started, it's good to put the brand name maybe at the back end of the title instead of leading with that. Charlie, I don't know if you have much insight on this, but just from what I've heard from best practices, if you're trying to kind of get traction, it's better to have those broader keyword terms up front as the title goes along. I don't know if that's anything you've heard, but that might be something to test too. Just putting your brand name at the end rather than at the very beginning of the title.
Agreed. That's definitely worth testing. And I'm going to turn off this alarm. Okay. Let's keep it moving so we can get to all these teardowns because we're starting to pile up links. Here's the next one. We've got a 15-in-1 benefits, and I'm not screen sharing. Where's my screen?
I'm gonna watch your time here, Charlie. We're gonna give you 2 minutes here. All right. You ready?
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it, Maddie.
Start.
Okay. Sustainable glam. This is coming at you from Javier. Yeah, we've got some leave-in spray hair mask conditioning detangler. Okay, you've got some great benefits here. I'm guessing you're optimizing for some keywords. That's great. You've got 4.5 stars. You've got 21 ratings. That's great. Bullet points. First thing that stands out here, I would add 1 more bullet point. Let's get to 5. And then one additional note, just to make it easier for people to skim, I would take some of these and I would have all caps at the beginning for whatever the key thing is, the keyword or the just the most important point that you want people to actually see. Because again, most people aren't going to read at first glance. So in this case, I would say like organic or wow, I can't spell. Organic active ingredients. Over here, I would say something like perfect for all hair types. Over here, maybe we do, I mean, I think this is good, but you still want to keep it consistent with all caps. So I would do something like sustainable and recyclable.
Something I've kind of heard with this part of it too, with the bullet points, is if you want to go really deep with it, you can word it in a way that's like what that person is going to experience when they're using it, rather than just listing the product attributes. You could say like, experience nourished, conditioned hair, or your best day with using this product, or things like that, to kind of make the user, as they're reading through it, like kind of get like a picture in their mind of what this product is going to do for them. And kind of wordsmithing it in that way can be really powerful too. But I definitely think, it makes sense to talk about the product aspects, but if you want to test that too, I've seen that work out really well as well.
Cool. So one thing that that stands out here is you've got a video at the end here, which is great. This is something that's worked really well for a lot of our clients, which is you start off with the product on the white background, then you might have a couple more product shots that are either showing the actual product, like the conditioner outside of the bottle, or just giving people a more tangible sense of what the product is. Then you transition to some lifestyle photography, and then at the end you wrap up with a quick video that shows the product in action. That's a formula that we can rinse and repeat all day long for our clients that will lead to really high conversion rates. And it looks like you've got a nice strong start there. Yep. Let's take a look at this helium-10 analysis. Okay, so one thing helium-10 noted was the fewer than 5 bullet points. It also noted your image dimensions. It looks like one of your dimensions is a little bit smaller than they're recommending. Just a tiny bit though. And anything else? I think that's it. Bullet points and image sizes. So I would just take a quick look at your image sizes. Let me pull this up. It looks okay to me. I think the bigger thing is the bullet point, and then if you can get some additional lifestyle photography, so it's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or I guess like 4 of these thumbnails are of the product.
Even like a picture of someone that used it in their hair, or like a before and after or something like that might even be powerful, just seeing the effects of it. But yeah, on to a good start though. Charlie, any last notes on this one before we jump on to another?
I appreciate you cutting me off here, otherwise I'll talk all day.
Okay.
Great job with the A+ content. This is great. You're hitting on all the right things here. So this custom content you've got here, I think is fantastic. This is beautiful. People like to see the ingredients, and making the ingredients visual like this always leads to higher conversion rates for our clients. So well done. This looks really good. Overall, I think the only thing that really stood out to me was the bullet points.
Yep, good stuff. All right, Charlie, you want to try to do 2 more? Does that feel good?
Let's keep going. Yeah, who's up next? I think Melissa?
Yes.
Okay, Melissa, I think this just pulled up. What are you trying to get me? Are you trying to get me to buy your products? These look great. It looks like you've got a bunch of different products here. Here we go. Okay, so I clicked on the link. And it took me here. And let me just see if Melissa, if you said anything else. Okay, hops and nuts, craft beer and wine snacks. Is that this guy up here?
Looks like it.
Melissa, is this yours? Stephanie, recommended video length, I'd keep it max 60 seconds, ideally 30. Melissa, that's not yours. Okay, I went too far. Are we talking about white bags? These guys. Oh, okay, cool. I see. Okay, Melissa, this is the, yep, awesome. Okay, great. Let's take a look. So please don't be offended by Helium 10's very strong evaluation of your page. There's a lot of room for improvement, certainly, but it looks like you're off to a great start with these bullet points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Awesome. I think the couple things that stand out to me right off the bat, you want to make sure that your product images are bright and have really nice lighting, because anything that's dark like this, it has a different emotional impact. So I would just make sure that your product photography is super well lit. And if you guys have problems with product photography, there's a company that some of our clients have used. I don't have a relationship with these guys, but they've done really good work for some of our clients. Products on White Photography, super easy. It's great for e-commerce and very, very reasonable price point. Now, the other things that stood out to me, HP, you're noting the product shots a little bit dark. By the way, guys, please do jump in with feedback for people. It's super helpful. Really appreciate that. The product title, definitely off to a great start. You're describing what the product is. I would, once you're ready for it, once you've used a tool like Helium 10 or Jungle Scout or something else, and you have a sense of what some of the keywords are that you want to optimize for, then you can start to add to this. But this, I would try to get your, how many characters? You're at 39. I'd say the next step, let's get like 7 or, let me see here. If I was going to do this, I would say the Tasty Nut Vineyard Red Wine Peanuts. I would probably change this to Red Wine Peanuts. This would be something like healthy and tasty treat, blah, 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 blah. You get the idea. Insert keywords. For the bullet points, I try to just keep these consistent in length. Again, you're off to a great start here. You've got 5 and you've got all caps for the beginning. I would just try to get all of them to be fairly consistent in how long they are. Lisa, I saw you mentioned the link to this service. There's a bunch of different companies that do this. So this is definitely not your only option, but Lisa, here you go. I think the only other things that stood out to me right off the bat, Melissa, would be oh, that's cool. Yeah, I would say product photography is going to be the first thing that I would take care of. Having really high quality, well-lit photos is probably one of the biggest variables that's going to affect your conversion rate. After that, I would say it's your bullet points and then the title. And then if we go down, let's take a look what's down here. When you're ready for it, doesn't have to be right off the bat, but when you're ready for it, getting A+ content. So getting customized content into this product description section. So instead of just having a little bit of text down here, you have images and some graphics. That'll improve your conversion rate, but I wouldn't worry about that right off the bat. For starters, I would focus on product photography and then bullet points and your title. Overall, very good looking product. I mean, this is like the perfect thing for, like, food and beverage is doing really well right now with COVID-19. I'm like getting hungry looking at this. So well done with your product category. I would say just take care of these things above the fold, and then you can worry about stuff like A+ content later on.
Yep. One other note on pictures too. If you have any photos, or you could get anyone to take a picture like in the setting that you would envision people enjoying it, like just to help set the tone of where people might have this or what they might pair it with and things like that. People love pictures. So any way you can do that would be great as well.
Yeah, so like I was hoping for an example, but it's very common to see lifestyle photography with the product inserted into an environment where um, it looks like it's at home, or having a person actually consuming or using the product.
Yep. We have a client that sells like bitters and syrups, and they have a lot of pictures just like in like at a beach setting, or, you know, at a like a bar setting or things like that. And it looks really nice. And it just helps definitely set the tone for the person that's considering it. So.
Awesome. Okay, let's do a few more of these real quick. I'm going to try to get better at keeping my advice concise.
All good. Why don't we try to do one more? You think we could do one more, or do we want to try to get through a couple more?
Let's see if we can get through a couple more. If anyone has to drop out, don't forget, this is all being recorded. So if you guys got to go, get out of here, do your thing, live your life, and know that you can come back to a replay.
True.
Okay. I just pulled up this shawl. I believe this is yours, the currently unavailable loose leaf tea sampler. You are definitely optimizing for keywords here. Saying loose leaf this many times, I don't know if that's really going to help you. You might want to consider rejiggering some of these a little bit because you're using loose leaf quite a few times, but I get the point. This is some awesome looking product photography. Let's go through it. Love it. Love it. Love it. This is great. Great. Cool. Overall, I think this is great. This looks really good. Let's see what Helium 10 says. 7 or more images, check. Product on white background, check. Image dimensions, check. Character count. Yeah, you're using quite a few characters. How many bullet points? 1. Interesting. Okay. A little bit curious why there's only 1 bullet point. I would definitely get 4 more in there. This is off to a great start, although this is a little bit on the long side. Get 4 more bullet points in there, and I think your above the fold section will be really good. Again, I would just probably remove some of these loose leaves. You're using it quite a few times. I don't know if that's really necessary. Feels a little bit overkill. And you've got some product description information. I would say the next steps for you right off the bat are bullet points, potentially updating the product title. I'm going to change this to something that's available. Okay, here we go. Maybe maroon. This, for all I know, you just launched maroon recently. Let me get back to the chat. Oh, check the other color, please. Okay, yeah. Okay, cool.
Whoops. There we go.
So yeah, you've got great bullet points here. All caps. That's great. Overall, I think this is really solid. Looks like you're using the word loose leaf a little bit less here, I think. There's still a few times, but that's okay. This looks like a pretty well optimized title. You've got really good bullet points here, really great product photography. With a lot of with consumer packaged goods, with stuff that people can consume, having ingredients visually represented in thumbnail images is huge. Makes a really big difference for conversion rates. So nice work there. Overall, I think that looks great. To me, the biggest win for you would be A+ content. Getting images and graphics below the fold. Overall, well done. This looks really good.
Agreed. Yep. Very well branded in the pictures too. It all is very cohesive. It looks good.
All right, I'm going to pull up another one. Amy, let's take a look at your Mixify Beauty Create Your Own Indie Nail Polish Kit. I think my Flux is messing with my color. Let me quit Flux. Flux is that blue light blocker, because apparently blue light keeps us up at night. There we go. Okay, so Helium 10 is giving you a 9.83 out of 10. The only ding was for the title character count, which personally I don't think is a problem, although I would consider looking at some of the other product keywords you might want to optimize for, but I don't think the character count's really a problem. Let's start by looking at these thumbnails. Okay. Very cool. And you end on a video.
Cute.
Very cool. Well, this looks like something perfect for pandemic life. Keep the kids busy.
This is fun.
Yeah, this is great. Okay, well done. I think the images overall are solid. I had a little bit of a question mark about the first image, just trying to consider if people are immediately going to understand and grasp exactly what it is that you're selling here. But I think that as people look at these, they're going to get it. I think the one area to consider when it comes to conversion rates is you want to make sure that people can really quickly grasp exactly what it is that you're selling in as simple language as possible. So there's this great book. I don't know if you guys can actually see. There's like a bookshelf kind of behind me. There's this great book called Building a Story Brand. I have no affiliation with these guys whatsoever, just a fan of the book. But these guys, Donald Miller is the author. This company helps people understand how to tell the story of their brand in a way that's very simple, very easy to understand, and positions the customer as the hero of the story using like the hero's journey framework. One thing I just like to mention that right now because keeping your messaging simple and your imagery easy to just immediately understand is really, really key. So I think overall, great first impression. The product looks super cool. I would just consider, are these images, like this first image here, very, very easy for people to understand exactly what you sell? And I don't have the answer to that question. For the keywords, for the bullet points, oh, sorry, Maddie, were you going to say something?
I was just going to say, Amy said the first image, because the first image needs to be a product on white, it's a struggle because deconstructed nail polish isn't intuitive, which makes sense. Like, I feel like you're doing as well as you can with what you got, but yeah, that makes sense.
That's fair, Amy. That's fair. Bullet points, I think that you've clearly got the right number, and it looks like you've got some really good messaging in here. Perfect for mommy and me time, spa days, bachelorette parties. That's great. I love it. I think to beef this up a little bit, I would take an approach like this, where you've got all caps is the thing that you want people to skim. All caps is the thing that someone who's skimming, who's just really quickly going through your page, they see the all caps first. Whereas when it's all the same title case, people actually have to read. And so I would just make people's lives a little bit easier, give them like 2 to 3 words, all caps for each one of these to make it skimmable. And then let's scroll down a little bit. Any A+ content? Yes. Hooray. Cool. Okay. A+ content, for those of you who don't know, can be a little frustrating to get organized and formatted the way you want it to be. But you've got some really fun looking imagery here. You've got bullet points, perfect for some social or some credibility. Okay, this is great. I think I would look at reworking the formatting for your A+ content and see if you can get it formatted in a way that's just a little bit more polished, but this is off to a great start. Nicely done, Amy. This looks good. I'm going to try to keep it moving. I'm just scrolling through the chat to find another URL.
Anyone still on that has their URL ready, want to send it, and we can jump into that?
Okay, I just found Yummy Gummy. Okay, we've got a branded store here. Oh, wow. Yummy Gummy Molds. Female-founded small business with a mission to deliver high-quality silicone molds in a variety of fun shapes loved by the whole family. That does look fun. Another great activity for COVID-19 life.
I like it.
Very cool. Okay, let's take a look at a product listing. Mary, unless you jump in and tell me that you wanted me to look at the branded store page, otherwise I'm going to take a look at this branded listing. Looks like you have some keywords in here, although I'm not sure how many of these you researched. I'd be curious to understand if you took a look at which keywords have the most traffic related to your niche. Bullet points look great. You took the caps approach to make it easy for people to skim. The product on the white background looks great. Let's take a look at these other ones. This is awesome. This looks fun. Very cool. Yeah, I think this looks really good. Helium 10 says image size might be a little small. Otherwise, well done. Overall, this looks great. Let's see if you've got any A+ content. Okay, you've got an image and our story, and then it goes into the A+ content down here. Yummy gummy molds.
Cute.
Yep, well done. I don't have any major pieces of feedback. I think this was great. Nicely done, Mary. Who's up next? I'm trying to, okay, yep. Kyle and then Alicia. I'm gonna pull these up. You know what? I pulled them both up and then I wasn't sure whose is whose. So let me do that again. Here's Kyle's. Okay. Healthy Bud Turkey Gut Booster, non-GMO, prebiotic. So this sounds healthy, and it looks healthy. You've got 5 bullet points. You've got 11 reviews, 5 stars. You've got product on white, back, opened, in a healthy environment with a lot of text. That's a lifestyle photo. You've got bullet points with benefits, more details and ingredients. Helium 10 likes it, thinks you've got room for more characters in your title and more room in your product description. I do think that the thing that stands out the most to me right off the bat is the title. I would say take a look at your niche, the keywords that are most relevant, and I would beef this up. Bullet points look good right off the bat. Though personally, I'm a fan of separating the all caps part from the, why isn't this still working? I'm personally a fan of separating the all caps part from the rest of the text. So making it more like this, just to make it really clearly skimmable. But otherwise, I think this is good. And yeah, I think right off the bat, the biggest thing that I would point to is the product title.
One other note on that too, when we first got to the page, I wasn't 100% sure if it was like a dog treat or if it was like a snack for a person. So you might want to try to get dog or pet or something in there at the beginning, just to make it super clear. Because as soon as we saw the product pictures, it was clear. But before that, I was like, oh, interesting. So, I guess it says dog treat on the bag, but I didn't see that at first. But
that's a great point, Maddie. Yeah, you want to make it like as idiot-proof as possible. And in this case, when I first looked at it, I'm not calling Maddie an idiot. When when I first looked at it, I too wasn't sure if this was for humans or dogs. I was like, cool, turkey treats, prebiotics, I'm into that. And then I looked at the packaging and I saw the word dog. But you do want to make this as idiot-proof as possible because, again, people skim. People really, they skim on the internet. People are busy. People are distracted. Very easy to lose someone because they didn't really understand what was going on, so they just went on to somewhere else. So I would take Maddie's advice and just make this very, very obvious that it's a dog treat.
like in The Office, as Michael Scott once said, explain it to me like I'm 5. That's just, you can't go wrong with that, you know?
There's my Office quote in the background. It's kind of hidden from you guys.
That's a very big cultural thing in our company, just if you guys haven't noticed.
We're all fans of The Office.
Right.
All right. Maybe we do one more and then wrap it up.
Yep, that sounds like a plan.
Okay. Alicia, you've been very patient and you have asked us to take a look. Where did that link go? There it is. Gotcha. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, you've got a couple of different links here. I'm going to start with this one. Looks like these are new. I don't see any reviews, ratings yet. Bullet points, you've got 3, 4, 5, 6. You've got a bunch of different thumbnail images. They all seem to be of the product. First one's product on white background. Okay, so a couple thoughts. First thing is let's start with the product title. I would definitely focus on optimizing for some keywords that are really going to be relevant to your product category, help people orient what it is they're buying, and help with your organic ranking. I don't know what those keywords are, but if I look down here, I see Italian leather. So maybe I might say you've got handmade small crossbody bag. I might say, oops. Italian leather.
This is another example of trying and testing the broader keywords at the beginning and then putting the brand name at the end, just as you're trying to pick up traction.
Precisely. I'm just going through this quickly, so I'm not doing this perfectly, but I think you get the idea. I would just organize the phrase, the words that you use here to make it very human readable while still including some keywords that are going to help you rank, and focus on the fact that people are primarily coming to this cold. It looks like this is new territory. This is like, I don't see any reviews, ratings. So a lot of people are going to be coming into this cold without any brand awareness. And you're going to want to make sure that for those people who have no idea who you are, they can really quickly understand what it is you're selling and why they should care. And then for the bullet points, all caps dash. And for the thumbnail images, I would say, the product itself looks great. I would say you've done a great job of putting it into real life environments. The one thing I think that's missing that you could add is a person. Who does your target customer, what does this person look like? If you could get someone who is your target customer, and ideally you would have a customer persona to represent this person, you would get this person into some of these lifestyle shots. So this person's wearing the product and using it. But otherwise, I think you're off to a great start here with the approach to the lifestyle photography. The main thing I would focus on is optimizing this title and then adding some all caps down here and getting to your first 10 reviews. And
she was saying you check the other colors too. Some of them might be a little bit different.
Okay, let me see. Here we go. Looks like a person using it. I would try to get a target customer with a face. Eyes and faces draw attention.
Yep, agreed. I feel like this is looking good though. The product's super cute. Yeah, oh, those are better.
Hey, there we go. Look at that.
Yep, that looks nice.
Yeah, this looks nice. I would just try to keep a consistent, 5 to 7 thumbnails for each one of these product colors. Try to keep it very consistent between colors so that it doesn't feel like a huge change going from one color to the next. And then for the bullet points, I would keep it consistently at 5 or consistently at 6 or 7. However many bullet points you use, I'd try to keep that consistent as well across the colors. But overall, you're right. I'm glad we looked at some of these other colors because it does look like you have taken some effort to get some real lifestyle shots in here, and you're off to a good start.
Yep, she said to look at the blue and beige. I think that's the one you haven't clicked on, over to the right. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I really, this looks great. One of the things that I'm definitely not qualified to speak on, but I know it when I see it, is nice contrast, nice colors, things that just grab my eye. And you definitely want to be mindful with your photography that you want things to pop. And that's where a photographer or a creative studio can help. I think you're thinking about the right things from what I can tell with these thumbnails. I would just try to be consistent across all of these different colors of your products. Be consistent and try to get to a healthy mix between product photography, which you're leaning on very heavily in some of these, like this one, versus lifestyle photography, which you're leaning in more on this one.
Yep, agreed.
Guys, we're 2 hours in. I think it's probably time we wrap this up, and just thank you all for being so very patient and for sticking with us through the end here. Again, the replay is going to go out to everyone. And again, if there are questions, if there's stuff that we didn't get to, because there always is, you can email us. You can post in the Growth Lab Facebook group. Contact us on LinkedIn. But again, thank you so much for your time. I hope you learned something today. If there's something that we didn't get to that you still have a question about, shoot us a note. We'll get to it. Maddie, is there anything else you want to add?
Nope, everything you just said. Yeah, if you guys have any other questions, we're here to help, and we're glad that you stuck around, and we hope this was helpful.
Have a great day. Have a great July 4th. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. Thanks, guys.
Bye.